Hi, and welcome back to Party at Home with Diane for part 2 of our 3-part class on how to make a blended background. So in the first class, we did the beginner card, which was this one, using only 2 inks for the sky and 1 ink for the ocean, 1 ink for the sand, and 1 ink for the grass, the ocean grass, and 1 for the birds. That was the beginner card. This one is the intermediate card. It's bringing your design up a step, and in this background we used 1, 2, 3, 4 colors to blend and get your sky. So in this series, I'm focusing more on the blending of the skies than the actual making of the cards, because I'm sure everybody knows how to make a card base by now. So I'm focusing on just the toppers. The third card in this series, or the third video in the series, is a little bit more advanced, and it's using a whole lot of colors in the sky. Here's another one using the same amount of colors, and it came out just a little bit different. So no 2 cards are going to be ever the same, no matter how hard you try to make them the same. The blending tools that I'm using are these ones right here, and they just have Velcro on them. I've had these in my stash forever. And you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But there are blending tools at Stampin Up. They're on back order right now, so I haven't been able to order mine. But as soon as I do, I will get some of those tools. But use what you have around your house. You can use your finger daubers, the round ones. You can use the finger daubers that are triangles. You can, if you don't have those, you can use a sponge. One of the round sponges, Stampin' Up sells those, and just cut it up into quadrants, and cut those quadrants up so you have a whole bunch of little triangular sponges. You can use cotton balls. So if you don't have a blending tool, look around your house, because you might find something that you can use. Q-tips don't work. I'll just let you know that right now. I did try that, and it was not good. So for inks, I'm going to use Black Tuxedo Memento, and that will be for the sentiment on this card. And then for the Lighthouse, I can't find my Stampin' Up red inks for the life of me. I don't know if I lent them to a friend or just what, but they are gone. Poof. So I'm going to use the Memento Rhubarb Stalk. Now you could use the Merlot or the Rich Razzleberry, or you could use black or grays. You can really get creative. You could use the Night of Navy if you're wanting to do like a nighttime type of scene. So you can get really creative with this stamp set. There's nothing that says this lighthouse has to be red, or it has to be, black. It can be any color you choose. There are no Stampin' Up police. So for the here we go. For the ocean, today I'm going to use Night of Navy. In the beginner card, we used the Pacific Point. We're going to change it up a little bit, use a little bit darker. For the sand dunes, I'm going to use Soft Suede. And then in the sky, this is where it gets fun, we're going to use the Daffodil Delight, the Mango Melody, the Merry Merlot, and the Night of Navy. You'll also need Stampin' Dimensionals for popping up the sentiment. You will need your clear blocks and your little chamois. If you're like, Diane, how come your chamois is so little? What I did was it's really dry, so it's deformed. I took my big chamois and I cut it in half. And then I cut that in half. So now I have this cute, and then I cut that in half again. So I have this cute little tiny chamois, and that works good for my little fingers. They don't work so well sometimes. So that's what I did, and I just love my little chamois. Okay, so let's get started. So you're going to start with a 5 by 4 1/4 piece of white cardstock. This is the basic white. And then you're going to cut it down to 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I will put these dimensions into the comments down below, or the description down below. And so what I did was I marked on here, I marked it at 1 1/2, slid it over, marked it at 1 3/4, and that leaves you 1 1/2. And those are going to be where we cut, but that's also going to be where we're going to use to stamp our lighthouse and our sun. And so what we're going to do is you're going to want to stamp out this one on one of those little yellow sticky notes, and get that cut out for a mask. And you're going to want to use this one here, the sun or the moon, and stamp that out on a sticky note or on cardstock and cut it out. If you don't have any sticky notes, I didn't, the yellow sticky notes, and so I just used from my stash a Zig two-way glue pen, and it works just fine. You put your glue down, you leave it and let it sit for a little bit, and it'll make it nice and tacky, and it'll stay tacky for a while. So those are the two we're going to use, or the things that we're going to use. So first of all, we're going to put down where we want our sun. You can make it low to the water, you can make it on the water, you can make it real high above the water. It's up to you. I just plop it down there because otherwise I get too in my head, and if I get in my head I just get lost. So we are going to start with my stamping block out. We're going to start with I guess I can't talk and do this at the same time. We're going to grab our Lighthouse stamp. We're going to find our little area right here. Figure out where we want it. Do we want it up high? Do we want it down low? I think I'm going to do mine right in the middle. So let's get the ink out. We're going to ink it up. And I want to make it inked a little bit more and stamp it down. You want to make sure that this one's in the center, because when you cut it, you don't want to cut it into the lighthouse. I like to hold it down just for a minute to let the ink sink in. We're going to use my little chamois, clean that off. Grab the next little lighthouse piece. Oh, I had all these pulled out and now they're stuck together. Oh, goodness gracious me. Okay. So then we're going to use this one. Get it all inked up. And I haven't found that doing one or the other first has made a big deal. I think on these other stamps, I did do this stamp first. So just lay it on here, pardon my head for a minute. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. There's no stamping police. And if you just hate it, absolutely hate it, flip your card over. Flip this one over and restamp it. There we go. See, mine was off a little bit. It's quite all right. It's just fine. All right. So that one's done. Put this away. Okay. And then, oh, one other thing you're going to want is a piece of scrap paper, piece of copy paper, or just whatever. Here was my list for shopping. I'll just use that. Because you know, sometimes when you want to go shopping, you just like grab anything. We're going to put our mask down right over the lighthouse. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. And stick it down. I've used mine a bunch of times, so it is losing its sticky just a little bit, but if you press it, it'll go right in. So let's figure out where we want our sky and how much ocean we have or want. So in this card, I had a lot of sky. So, but you can make, you know, just do what you want. The thing is to get out of your head and play. If you get out of your head, it is so much more fun to do these. And you know, you'll think, oh my gosh, that just didn't work. Let the ink sit, walk away for a couple minutes and come back and look at it with fresh eyes, and you'll be like, oh, that's not so bad. So let's see. I want to make my I'll do right about right there. And I like the grids on the Stampin' Up work paper, grid paper, because, see, I'm getting in my head. I can line it up with the grids. I have the grid here, I have the grid here, and now it's just all lined up and it'll be great. So the first stamp that or ink that we're going to start with is, I am so sorry if I am like all over the place. I am just so excited to use this stamp set because it is so much fun. So I'm going to get my blending tools. Is that the orange? The yellow. See, I have all these little round discs that go on there for your blending tools. Just have to remember which color is which. And I think this one is the yellow. Nope, that one was the orange. Okay, let's go with this one. And if it's not, it is what it is. So I like to just pounce off a little bit so it's not like so saturated, because you can always add more. You can't take away. So for this one, we're going to make a happy sky or a moderate sky. We're going to make the intermediate sky. Here we go. You see that? Oh, I can leave it right there. That'll work. So we're going to start with the yellow. And so here's one of the tricks. Quick tip. If you want rain, you want to go up and down. If you want peaceful skies, you can go side to side. If you want angry skies, you'll kind of go in a circle. And I'll show you that in the angry skies in the last one. So just kind of go side to side, here and there. It just pop it down and swipe, pop it down and swipe. You don't want to saturate the whole card. You want those itty bitty pieces of white because that will pick up the other colors. So next we're going to do, see, and that's all the yellow, the Daffodil yellow, Daffodil Delight that I'm going to use. So the next color, let's go with the Merlot. And oh, pardon my arm there. Stamp it up, swish it across. Okay, I like that. And I'm just kind of going to go side by side again, just along the bottom. And you'll see that gives you just that horizon look. And that's all you need, just a little bit. And then we're going to go in with our Night of Navy. And I think I'm just going to have a little bit of blue right over here. So let's grab the blue, that's the yellow. Bounce it off a little bit so it's not quite so saturated. And I think I'm just going to go like right. Oh, see, now it's a little dark, but hey, that's okay. And it's blue, so this one, okay, I'm going in a little bit of a circle. And you can see it looks like the wind is blowing the clouds. We're going to just leave it just like that. Then we're going to come back in with the yellow and give it just, I want it just a little bit more kick in the middle. And again, it's just play with it. And if you're like, I don't know, again, walk away, come back, and you'll be like, oh, I get it. So there's my orange. We're going to bring in just a little bit of the mango. And we're just going to go right around the sky, in a little circle right around the sky. I want it just blended just a little bit more down here. There we go. And there you go. Now you've got your sky. It is as easy as that. It's just playing and blending. If you go, you know, too high or too low that you think you did, just blend it a little bit more or walk away and come back. It is as easy peasy as that. So next we're going to do the ground. So it's on the bottom. I need my bigger block. And this one is so fun. And it is so easy. So you'll see it has this little notch right here. And it just goes right around the base of the lighthouse. They thought of everything when they made this stamp. So I am just so sad that it's retiring. And you just line it up. Let me move that. And you just line it up with the base of the lighthouse. And stamp it down. And there you go. So I'm going to clean this off. Then in the stamp set, there is this nice little dirt mound. This piece right here looks like a thumbprint. You see that? There you go. This one has actually kind of become one of my favorite little stamps. And it doesn't matter which way it goes. So I'm going to ink it up. There you go. I'm going to ink it up. And I'm just going to stamp it off. And then I'm just going to fill in a little bit down below. There you go. And you can just like, if you don't want to see the white, just stamp it up. But how easy is this? I mean, we are almost done. And we're going to have this amazing card. Oops, I didn't get my block clean. Now, I do leave this on because I get ink all over my fingers. And the other day when I was making a sample card, I went to peel that off, and then I was crafting some more, and I picked up the card and I put a thumbprint right in the middle of that. Ended up looking like a crater on a moon. So from now on, I just kind of leave that there because I have clumsy fingers. Okay, so next we're going to do the ocean. So we are going to get out the Night of Navy. We're going to get the Night of Navy dauber here. And this still has a lot of color on it. So I am just going to take it and go left to right. And just go right over and drag it over. And you'll get these nice little light and dark. It almost looks like water. And that's what it's meant to be. So if you just do that quick swipe, you are good to go. I know, it's so easy. My mind was blown when I first learned how to do these. So the last stamp we're going to do is the water, and that's this one right here. So it has a wide edge, and then it has the broken up edge. The white edge, I feel you want to use that towards you, towards land. I used it in another card. Do I have it? Here. I used it the other way on this one, and it kind of made it look like there was like land out there. So it was like a channel. So you can do that if you want to make it look like that. For these, I've been using it with that down. So I'm going to ink it up, and so you can stamp it off. And it's pretty dark, so I'm going to stamp it off and use the next one. And I'm just going to go right over the lighthouse. Oh, stop. I made a mistake. So this is great, but what you want to do before you do your swipes, you want to lay your card back down, or your paper back down, and then swipe. What you want is that little horizon line. It's not very thick, it's just minute, but it does give it that horizon line. So you want to put down your paper, just bring it down just a little bit below that before you start stamping. So let's try that again. But hey, see? You just go with it. Now we're going to stamp right off the end of the card. And we're going to stamp across. Oops, I did that one with the dark, but that's okay. Oh, pardon my reach there. Let's do this one right here. Right there. That works. Okay. So if you find like you missed a spot or there's a big gap, you can just stamp it up, ink it up, and then just use a corner and just kind of like plop that in there. And you are good to go. But don't stress on it too much. So I'm going to clean off my stamp. Always clean off your stamps. Get in that habit. Now are you ready? Are you ready? Look at that. So I still have that little horizon line on there, so that worked out great. So let's, I have ink on my hands. I normally keep a bottle of hand sanitizer because next to me, because that takes the ink off great off of your hands while you're crafting. So here's the big reveal. Now look at that. Isn't that just like so cool and so easy? It almost makes it look like the lighthouse is shining a light right straight across. And it does have a light, and you can do the same thing. You can cut this out, make a mask, you know, from the lighthouse, and it is just amazing. Haven't done that one yet. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our cutter out, and we are gonna cut it apart. So we are gonna cut it at 1.5. So we're going to cut it at 1.5. Oh, another quick tip I am going to show you. I keep my scoring blade on first and then my cutter blade. If you can see that, my scoring blade, then my cutter blade, because I have wanted to score something and ended up cutting it. So now I just keep my cutter blade on there first so I don't accidentally cut my card when I want to score it. So that's just a quick tip. So we're going to cut this one at 1.5. We're going to cut this one at 1 3/4. And then that leaves it at 1.5. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you ready? Are you ready? So here's the base. Again, I'm not going over the base because everybody should know how to do the base. Here, here, and here. And this is great because now you can do whatever you want. You can add the sentiment right in the middle. You can pop it up with pop dots. You can pop these two up with pop dots. You can pop these two up with pop dots and then use this one down, but this popped up so they're all kind of level. Your creativity is now in your hands. But I love this. You can also use the green, granny apple green for the seagrass, the ocean grass, and use that. I kind of liked it plain and simple. But this card is so fun. I'm just over the moon having a blast. So that is the card for today. So it does have lots of sentiments. It has this one, this one, this one, and this one. So the reason why I did this one at 1 3/4 and these two at 1.5 is to give room for you to put the sentiment on and have a little edge. So that's my puppy. And so anyway, there you go. That is the intermediate card. The next video in the 3-part series is going to be the advanced card like this, where we're using more inks to get a dark and sky or a storm coming sky. So make sure that you like, share, and follow me, and I will see you in video 3. Happy stamping!